What can you say about the picture? So here, the mother is talking to his child. I don't know if it is a girl or a boy. If you behave well, I would buy you a chocolate bar. Remember when you were a kid? Your parents, especially your mother, always promise you to give you something, a reward, if you behave well. So, will mother really buy a chocolate bar? What do you think? Are there any conditions for buying a chocolate? Well, let's talk about conditions in our lesson for today. Okay. Good day, everyone. Again, this is Teacher Mitch, your English teacher. So, last meeting we talked about figures of speech, right? So, we have the simile, the metaphor, the personification, the hyperbole, onomatopoeia, and alliteration. This time, we are going to talk about conditionals. So, what is conditionals or what are conditional sentences? Okay. Conditional sentences. So when we say condition, it means situation or circumstances. So we have here, they are sentences expressing factual implications or hypothetical. So it can be not true or unproven. Theoretical. So it is true and it is proved. Okay, so situations and their consequences or result. And they are called as such because the strong point of the main clause of the sentence depend on the existence of what is expressed in the dependent clause or what may be understood from the context. So here we're going to discuss the if clause and the main clause. So you're going to understand the situation based on the consequences. All right. Conditional sentences are also called conditional tenses. It is used to speculate about what would happen, what might have happened, and what we wish would happen. So there are different types of conditionals, and what we're going to study this morning is the basic conditional types. So first we have the first, second, and third conditionals. And also there is a zero conditional that is a general truth, but we have to focus on these three. All right. So first we're going to discuss the type 1 or the first conditional. So it is expressing a possible condition and its result in the future. So it refers to the present or future where the situation is real. And it is a possible condition and its probable cause. So we are using the simple tenses and if clause. So by the way, when you say if clause, it is the dependent clause. And the main clause, it is the independent clause. So again, we are using the simple present plus the simple future. So that is first conditional real situation, possible condition, and its probable cause. Alright, so next we have the type 2 or the second conditional. So it expresses an real possibility or a dream. So it is an opposite of the type 1. So here we are using, rather it is a hypothetical condition and its probable cause. So when you say hypothetical, it is just a guess. So not proven yet. Okay, so that is second conditional. And we are using the simple past in the dependent clause and the present continuous in the main or the independent clause. Don't worry, I will be giving a lot of examples after. Okay, next we have the third conditional. Okay, so the third conditional express no possibility. It is not real. There is no possibility that it will happen. Why? Okay, let's check this. The third conditional is a situation that happened in the past and the result also happened in the past. So the action already happened. So how could it be? Like for example, we have here, if you had studied harder, you would have passed the exam. So here, the exam and the result already happened. So how could it be? So that's why rather the condition is or no possibility. It will not happen anymore because it's already happened. Okay? All right. Again, the first conditional or the type 1 is used to refer to the present or future where the situation is real, true, fact. Okay? So here are the first conditional. So it is about the future. It features a particular condition or situation in the future. It shows the result in condition. And it contains a real possibility that this condition will happen. All right, so again, it is a present or future real situation. So a possible condition with its probable cause. And we are using the simple present tense plus the simple future. Okay, so that is first conditional, real situation. So again, the first conditional or real situation, it can be happening or it will happen. So that is first conditional, real situation. So we are using the simple present and the if clause, or that is the rather the dependent clause. So if the condition and the result would be simple future, the will plus the base form of the verb. So let's have some example. If I have enough money, I will go to Japan. So it is possible. Is the situation real? Of course, yes. So the condition is, if she or he have enough money, he will go to Japan. So it is possible and a real situation. If I meet my friend Josie, I will invite her for a stroll. So it can be or it will happen if she meets her friend Josie. But if she did not meet her, she will not invite her. Alright? Okay. Next, if my son is here tomorrow, he will drive the car for me. So again, the if condition, we are using the simple present. So have, meet, is. Okay, so the result, we are going to use the will plus the base form of the verb. Will go, will invite, will drive. Okay, so if the sentence are using the simple present and the simple future, then it is the first conditional. And of course, if it is factual or real situation. So we can also reverse the order. So we have to do the result first, followed by the if clause. But of course, we have to remove the comma this time. Okay, so example here. I will inform my brother, so it will become, it is a result now, and it is the main clause. So the condition is, if I see him. Okay, so I will inform my brother if I see him. So that is the condition. Next, he will give Pat a treat if she is available tomorrow. And their teacher will be sad if they do not do their promise. Okay, so if you have noticed here, so we reversed the condition. So we made result as the first and condition as the end. So still, we are using the will plus the base form for the result and the simple present for the condition. So will inform, will give, will be said. Okay, so in condition, we are using the simple present C. Okay, is, do not do, or rather, yes, that is do or do not. Okay, so that is first condition. So you have to remember your verb. So simple present plus simple future, factual. Okay, so there is a possibility that is first conditional. Now we have the second conditional or the type 2. So again, it is used to refer to a time that is now or anytime. And the situation is unreal. So it's an opposite of type 1. So these sentences are not based on fact. So it can be hypothetical or just a guess and not proven. All right. So now we have the second conditional. So first, it is unreal possibility or just a dream. All right. Next, it also talk about or thinks about the future. Next, about a particular condition in the future. So like the first conditional, the second conditional are also thinking about the future. But when do we use it? So we use the second conditional for things that can't happen now or probably won't happen in the future. So again, it is just a hypothetical or just a guess. So this is when you think about the particular condition in the future and the result of this condition, but there is not a real possibility that this condition will happen. So again, second conditional, unreal possibility, or it is just a dream. And of course, it is hypothetical or just a guess, not proven. All right, so that is second conditional. So here is an example of second conditional. If you had listened to me, the rabbit wouldn't have bitten you. So is it possible? Of course, the action already happened in the past and there is no possibility. All right? Okay. So let's check this another example. So if I join the contest, I would win. So take note that in this condition, there is not real possibility that this condition will happen. Why? You didn't join the contest, so would it be possible to win the contest? Of course it is not. Okay? Alright. So let's have some example for second conditional. So here, the condition or the if clause, we will be using simple past. And for the result or the main clause, we will be using present continuous or the would plus the base form of the verb, right? So here example number 1, if Ram became rich, she would marry him. So the condition is impossible, of course. If Ram became rich, and the result, she would marry him. Next, if it rained next April, would you be surprised? So the condition is not based on the fact. What do you think? It will rain in April? Okay, so next, if I graduated with a first class degree, I would receive a scholarship. So here it is impossible or not possible rather because the action already happened. She already graduated, so how could it be? You got it? Okay. So that is second conditional, unreal situation, and it is just a dream. Okay, so like the first conditional, in second conditional, we can also reverse it by doing this, okay? So the first is the result followed by the condition. So it's the same thing. You have to use the would plus the base form in result, and you have to use the simple past in condition. So it will look like this. She would be happy if she married Pete. So it should be rather it is not real because she did not marry Pete. So how could she be happy? All right. Next, she would marry Pete if he became rich. So again, that is not a real situation. Would you be surprised if it rained next April? Okay, so we just reverse the sentence. All right, so that is second conditional. So now let's have the third conditional. So with the third conditional, we are talking about the past. So the condition in the past that did not happen. That is why or there is no chance for this condition to happen. So this conditional is also like a dream, but with no possibility of dream coming true. Unlike with second conditional, it is just a dream, but then there is a possibility that this dream would become true. In third conditional, there is no possibility. All right? So we use the third conditional to talk about the impossible situation. As in the second conditional in the past, we often use the third conditional to describe regrets. Okay, so let's discuss further and let's have more examples. Okay. So now let's have some example for third conditional. So here in the if clause or in the condition, we are using the past perfect tense. So when you say past perfect tense, it is the use of had plus the past participle of the verb. And for the main clause, we have to use the would have plus past participle or the V3. All right? Okay, so first, if I had met my teacher, I would have given her my excuse letter. But the problem is, he or she did not met her teacher. That's why he did not give her excuse letter. So it is a regret. And this is impossible to happen. So there is no possibility that this condition will happen. Okay, next. If they had submitted their proposed plan on time, the president would have approved it. But of course, they did not submit it on time. So, the result is impossible to happen. Okay, next we have, if it had rained last night, would you have to go out? Okay, so that is impossible or it will not happen anymore. Okay, so it is just a regret. So third conditional is no possibility, a dream that will not come true. Okay, all right. Let's practice. So I have here the first conditional. So again, first conditional is a real situation, a possible condition with probable cause. Okay? And we are using the simple past, or rather the simple present in the if clause and simple future for the main clause. Okay? So here, if you go out with your friends tonight, it is the if clause. And we will be using the simple present. So go will become, it is still go. Why? Because of our subject you. Alright, so next, I watched Black the football match on TV. So it is the result or the main clause. So we will be using the will plus the base form of the verb. So that is will watch. If you go out with your friends tonight, I will watch the football match on TV. So it is a possible condition with probable cause. It will happen. Okay, so next number 2 we have I earn blank a lot of money if I get that job. So here, I earn a lot of money is the main clause. Therefore, we have to use the will plus the base form of the verb. So earn will become I will earn. Okay. And the if clause, we have to use the simple present. So get will become get. Okay, it is still get. I will earn a lot of money if I get that job. Okay, so that is first conditional. Next, if I study rather, so that is if I study, I will pass the exam. Easy. Alright, so that is first conditional. So you have to use simple present and simple future. So now let's practice the second conditional. So again, second conditional, they are unreal situations. So they are just a dream. And of course, they are hypothetical condition with probable cause. Okay? So we are using the simple past in the if clause, and for the result or the main clause, we will be using the present continuous or the would plus the base form of the verb. Okay, let's try for number 1. If he tries, so here we have to use the past form of try. So it will become tried. If he tried harder, okay, so reach will become would reach. So if he tried harder, he would reach his goals. But he did not try harder. Therefore, it is impossible for him to reach his goal. So it is just a dream. Okay, next we have example number 2. To I buy. So here it is the main clause. We have to use the would plus the base form of the verb. So I would buy, okay, these shoes if they, you have to use the simple past. So that is fitted. Okay, I would buy these shoes if they fitted me. And again, the shoes did not fit him or her rather. Therefore, it is impossible for her to buy these shoes. Okay, it is just a dream. Alright, so next we have if I find, so here the if we have to use the simple past. So if I found her address, so the main clause would become would send. Okay, so that is would send. If I found her address, I would send her an invitation. And of course, she did not find the address. Therefore, how could she send an invitation? Okay, so this is a hypothetical condition with probable cause. And the result is impossible to happen. That is second conditional. So now let's practice the third conditional. So here in third conditional, there is no possibility that it will happen. Okay? So it is a dream or impossible dream that will happen. And it sometimes shows regret. Okay? So in if clause, we will be using the past perfect tense. And for the main clause, we will be using the present perfect, rather the perfect continuous tense, which is the would have plus past participle. Okay, so if we listen to the radio, we hear the news, so we have to use had listened. So had plus the past participle, it is the perfect or the past perfect tense. We hear, so it will become would have heard. Okay, so if we listen or if we had listened to the radio, we would have heard the news. But then the action listen or had listened did not happen. Therefore, it is very impossible for the result to be happen. You get it? Again, the action had listened did not happen. So, the result will not also be happen. It is impossible to happen. That's why it is a third conditional. Next we have if you, so that is had switch. If you had switched on the light, you would not have fallen over the chair. Okay, so the action had which did not happen, and therefore it is impossible for him to would not have fallen. Okay, so so that is if I had found her address, I would have sent an invitation. So here the action had found did not happen, and therefore the result is impossible to happen. That is third conditional. Okay? So that's all for today, and please read your book for your ILT. So goodbye everyone. Have a nice day.